Hi guys, welcome to TechBased. It's that time of the year again. In this video, we're talking about all the new features that we'll be able to encounter in the new Windows 11 version that will be released this year, most likely next month, but more on that later. So Windows 11, the 2024 update or 24H2 has a code name, will be released this year, and it is the major release that Microsoft plans to release every year. Last year we had 23H2 and this year we have 24H2. In this video, we're going to talk about new features that can be expected in Windows 11 24H2, but one disclaimer that I have to make is that certain features will not be a part of Windows 11 24H2 at the beginning. Certain features will be part of certain moment updates later on the line, maybe at the end of the year or even at the beginning of next year. But of course, in this video, whenever I'm talking about a feature that is expected to be released later, I'm going to mention that, and of course you should easily be able to make the difference between features that we'll be able to encounter next month and also features that have no clear release date. So in this video, we're going to try to cover every new feature, and if you enjoy videos like these, please don't forget to leave a like below and also subscribe to the TechBased channel with the notification bell activated so that you won't miss any future uploads like this one. So let's begin with the video. Before starting the video, I want to introduce you to private internet access. Using the internet without private internet access is like leaving your phone unsupervised in public places. All it takes is one quick thief to grab it. A virtual private network, or VPN for short, hides your IP address and safeguards your internet connection through an encrypted tunnel. Private internet access is the world's most transparent VPN provider with over 30 million downloads, and their no logs policy has been proven multiple times in court. Streaming services such as Netflix have different library options based on where you are located. Using private internet access, you will be able to watch those shows or movies that are not available in your current location. With private internet access, you can also unblock restricted content such as news websites for Canadians, which have been blocked in the past month. And you can use one private internet access subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices at the same time. Make sure to check out private internet access in the links from the description below for a great deal, 83% discount and 4 months free. Before going into the new features presentation, of course, one thing that I need to note is that Microsoft is focusing a lot on AI in Windows 11 24H2, so certain features will only be available at the beginning at least for Copilot Plus PCs. You may be asking, what is a Copilot Plus PC? Basically, it is a new PC created by Microsoft with Windows, of course, dedicated for AI, and it is really powerful. It should have an all-day battery and so on, but it is designed for AI. And also, certain features will only be part of PCs with Windows 11 24H2 that will be installed or pre-installed on Copilot Plus PCs. Of course, on those features as well, I'm going to mention if that's the case. Now let's start with a feature that Microsoft tried to present as the main headline of Windows 11 24H2, and that is Windows Recall. What is Windows Recall? Well, it is an app that runs in the background and captures snapshots of everything you see and do on your computer. You have the ability to search for anything you've ever done on your PC with natural language. Also, you have a timeline interface with the ability to scroll back through all the snapshots that you have captured over the period of time you've set. You can capture apps, sentences, web pages, documents, photos, videos, and more. Data is stored locally, and this can always be turned off. As you may guess, this was received by users with a lot of backlash, and Microsoft decided to postpone it, so this will not be a part of the initial 24H2 release. We have no clear release date, but I think this is a quite interesting new addition. Of course, this is based on AI, so you're going to be able to see anything that you've done on your computer using AI. And the good part is that you can delete certain things from history, you can turn this off, and data is stored locally. Also, certain things such as passwords and so on should be blurred out, and websites containing bank information and so on. Now, I'm not going to stay on Windows Recall too much because, as I've said, this is postponed and it is not a part of the initial 24H2 release. Now we're moving on to another AI feature, which is Windows Studio Effects. These are effects that can be applied to microphone and webcam, and this uses AI to enhance video and audio in any app. This also has quick settings support with background blur, eye correction, portrait light, and illustrative filters. In Windows 11 24H2, the only thing that is new related to Windows Studio Effects are the creative and illustrative filters, but these new additions are part of Copilot Plus PCs only, at least at the beginning. On Windows 11 24H2, again related to AI, we're going to have a new live Captions app that will support translation with 40 plus languages in real time or for pre-recorded content. This is again an AI feature, as I've said, and also available for Copilot Plus PCs at least at the beginning. In Windows 11 24H2, we will also have a new AI image sketch creator implemented inside the Paint app. This is also a part of Windows 11 24H2 features that will be released by default on Copilot Plus PCs, but of course this can be manually installed on almost any PC that has Windows 11 24H2. So as you can see, this is the Paint app. The Paint app is looking pretty much the same, but the headline for the new Paint Paint app is this image creator or co-creator, which will basically allow you to create images by giving a description, selecting a style, and more things like that. Of course, this uses AI, and right now it is in the preview stage. You're also going to have more info about how this works if you click on this eye here, and also you have these tokens that you can use, and whenever you run out of tokens, you won't be able to generate images again. I guess in the future, maybe Microsoft will do a membership or subscription-based system that you're going to be able to use in order to use Image Creator, or maybe Microsoft will do this for free. So let's give here a pretty simple description. For example, house on a lake, and then choose a style. We have here multiple styles that we can choose from. We have charcoal, ink sketch, watercolor, oil painting, digital art, photorealistic, anime, or pixel art. So for example, I'm just gonna go charcoal because I think this is interesting. Then click on create, and we're gonna have more variants to choose from, and with those variants we'll be able to simply copy and paste them into our Paint project and then save them as a PNG or JPEG format, whatever we want. So as you can see, we have here 3 variants. We can choose one of them, and also we have these 3 dots. If we click on them, we have the options to save image and give feedback. For example, let's select one, and when we click on it, it will be imported into the Paint main interface. Let's now just choose another style and then move on to another feature. For example, let's select oil painting and then create, and see what Image Creator can create now inside Paint. So for this, let's select the last one, and as you can see, it's looking pretty good. I think it does a really good job because of course it uses AI. Also for Copilot Plus PCs and related to AI, we're getting a new image generator inside the Photos app that you're going to be able to use, and it's something with the same main idea that we have on the new Paint app. Now, another feature that has no clear release date and has been postponed by Microsoft is the new AI Super Resolution, and this is a new option inside Settings, Graphics, that uses AI to upscale games and improve FPS, and it's again a part of Copilot Plus PCs. But you can see how this option looks. It was available inside the Canary channel for testing purposes a while ago, and it is called Automatic Super Resolution. Use AI to make supported games play more smoothly with enhanced details, and then you can turn it on or off. This is the only thing that we've got. It never worked properly, and as I've said, since then it has been postponed by Microsoft. It has no clear release date. Now also, I'm sure that some of you know the Copilot integration that Microsoft tried to make. Well, they gave up on that, and we now have a new Copilot app, and as you can see, if we click on it, it should be automatically pinned on the taskbar, and it is a separate app that is basically a full web app integration with updated UI, chat, and sidebar. One good thing about this is that it can be uninstalled, so if you search on it inside search, you can right click on it and then uninstall. And also, this is not necessarily something new and specific to Windows 11 24H2, but Windows 11 24H2 should bring it to all users. And as I've said, this is basically a web app, so the part that Microsoft tried to make where you could open apps or change settings using Copilot is no longer a thing. Right now, this is only a web app. So I think it's still good, it can still be useful, but of course, the possibilities with the old integration could have been way more interesting. For example, you can search, how can I make Windows 11 faster? And Copilot will, of course, give us some suggestions. This is basically everything that there is to it inside the free Copilot app. Of course, if you have a Copilot Plus subscription, I think you have multiple additions that you can do or apply to your Windows operating system. There is also a new AI feature, which is voice clarity, which is a feature that removes background noises in calls and recordings. Again, something that will most likely be a thing for Copilot Plus PCs. So related to AI features, this is pretty much all there is inside Windows 11 24H2. We're now going to focus on certain design things, new changes related to all users. So if you watched everything until now, of course, maybe some of the features won't be encountered by all of you, but the features that we're going to talk about further in the video, I think most of you guys should encounter if you upgrade to Windows 11 24H2 after it is released. So let's begin with the new File Explorer. Of course, the File Explorer has multiple new additions and improvements, one of them being the fact that right now if you right click on a file, you're going to see that the action buttons at the top in the context menu now have labels, so you can clearly see which is which. For example, cut, copy, rename, share, and delete. This was a bit of a problem at the beginning of Windows 11, even for me. I never used the context menu properly because of that, because of course the icons are changed compared to Windows 10. It was hard to see which button was which, but right now that has changed in Windows 11 24H2. I think it is better. We have other things related to the context menu. In Windows 11 24H2, we can create 7-zip and tar archives. So basically, we can create archives in multiple formats. In Windows 11 23H2, we had the ability to extract more formats using the Windows 11 extracting tool, and in Windows 11 24H2, we're going to be able to create or compress to certain formats. We have zip files, 7-zip files, tar files, and we have additional options, which includes the location, archive format, compression method, compression level, also retains symbolic links, retain hard links. You can easily create a new compression compressed zip file. Related to the File Explorer, we also have a new Home tab that includes a different design. We also have here a new section called Shared Files. With this, you can view and see more info about certain files that were shared to you, the date shared, the name, of course, file location, shared by, and also activity. One thing related to the shared section here in the File Explorer is that this is again a feature that has been postponed by Microsoft and has no clear release date. Inside the new File Explorer, you're also going to be able to edit and view metadata for PNG files in the new File Explorer in Windows 11 24H2. We also have changes in the quick settings section, so if you click on it, you're going to notice that now all these actions and buttons can be accessed in the same section, but you now have a scrollable view, and of course you can still edit the arrangement of these if you want certain things to be at the top or at the bottom, but I think this new interface with the scrolling view is pretty good. In the Wi-Fi section, you're going to have this new button that you can use to refresh the Wi-Fi connections, so you can click on it, and as you can see, automatically the Wi-Fi connections will be reset and your laptop or device will search for a new Wi-Fi connection. Also inside quick settings, you're going to have support for VPNs, and you're going to be able to turn it off or on, whatever you like it, and also support for live captions. Related to the taskbar, we have a few new additions that have no clear release date, so it is not clear that they will be released with the initial Windows 11 24H2 release, but I'm still going to mention them because they are quite interesting. One of them being the new taskbar app thumbnails and animations. As you can see, you have new animations and also new thumbnails that are bigger, have bigger title bars and so on, a different and updated close button. I think that is looking pretty good. And if you have multiple windows opened, of course, this is looking better. I think Microsoft is also planning on doing a transition animation. It looks pretty good, but as I've said, this may not be a part of the initial Windows 11 24H2 release as it has no clear release date. Microsoft is also introducing the ability to jump through apps in the taskbar. So if I use Windows plus T on my keyboard to jump to the taskbar or to set the focus on the taskbar, I can use the keyboard to jump to an app. So for example, as you can see right now, I have the non-combined taskbar icons. I can press H to jump to the File Explorer because it's gonna recognize the key that matches the title of that window. So if I press F, it's not gonna recognize anything, but if I press H multiple times, it's gonna jump me through different sections and apps that I have opened. If I were to right click on the taskbar and then go to taskbar settings, then to taskbar behaviors, and then set the always combined taskbar buttons and hide labels, we're gonna notice that right now if I press Windows plus T, I can press F and also S to jump through apps, as now it's only gonna recognize the name of the app rather than the name of the window. Additional settings that have no clear release date. If I click on the taskbar and then go to taskbar settings, we're gonna notice the related settings that contain a few settings that have been moved. For example, inside date and time, and when expanding show time and date in the system tray, we're gonna have this new option, show abbreviated time and date, and also show seconds in the system tray clock, which is an old setting, but this is pretty good because it shows a smaller and shortened time and date in the taskbar. Also, if you go back into taskbar settings and to related settings and notifications, if you expand notifications, you're also going to have this option, show the notification bell icon, and this can be turned on or turned off in this latest update. So these things are related to the system tray. Inside the system tray in Windows 11 24H2, there is also this new animation whenever you are connecting to a new Wi-Fi connection. As you can see, this is again looking pretty good. And also in the taskbar, whenever you are copying something or downloading something, you're going to notice that the new progress bar in the taskbar is now more visible and has a slightly different design so that it can be seen and detected easier on the taskbar. There is also a new option that you can turn on or off that will basically open a taskbar app jump list on hover. So this is basically the same menu that you're getting when you right click on an app, but right now you can also get it on hover, and this can be turned off inside taskbar settings, taskbar behaviors, and you're going to have this option, show hover cards for inactive and pinned taskbar apps. Related to networking, Windows 11 24H2 brings the support for the new technology Wi-Fi 7, which has higher Wi-Fi speeds, and also the ability to see the Wi-Fi password inside settings. So if we're going into settings, network and internet, and then Wi-Fi, and then to our connection, we're going to have this new section, Wi-Fi network password. If you click on it, you're going to be able to see the password or scan to connect to a certain Wi-Fi connection. So I think that is a great addition. Now let's talk about the Settings app, because the Settings app as well has received quite a few improvements. First of all, something related to Microsoft's transition from the old control panel to the new Settings app. We will have a new color management page, which will basically replace the old control panel color management section with a new color management page inside the new Settings app. We're also getting a new AI components page that has been delayed with no clear release date. Microsoft is also adding hearing aids with Bluetooth low energy audio (LE audio) technology for people with hearing viewing problem. I think that is also a great new addition. And inside Bluetooth and devices, there have been multiple design improvements, and certain pages have been improved to match the Windows 11 design principles. Inside settings, system, sound, and properties, Microsoft is also adding a new Microsoft test, which is basically a new section right here. You can start a test, then talk or play audio at a normal level for a few seconds. You can start it, and also you have the test mode for microphone audio processing. I think that is great, with different modes to hear how recorded audio will sound. Also inside privacy and security, Microsoft is adding new location request notifications from apps that you have selected here, and that is also pretty nice. And inside Bluetooth and devices and then mouse, Microsoft is adding two new options here, basically again from the old control panel, which is enhanced pointer precision, which you can turn on or off, and also select the scrolling direction. Down motion scrolls down or down motion scrolls up. Related to printers, Microsoft is adding this new option, Windows Protected Print Mode. This feature helps ensure the latest security standard for printer software. Turning this on may limit the availability of some printers using an older default security standard, and then you can set this up. We also have new improvements related to the Phone Link app. First of all, Microsoft is adding the phone integration in the File Explorer. So we're going to be able to directly access your Android phone or your connected phone using the Phone Link app in the File Explorer, and you're going to have basically all the functionalities such as copy, drag and drop, and so on directly with your connected phone. Also, Microsoft is expanding the Phone Link with a start menu integration. This new option has no clear release date, but I'm still going to showcase it to you. You can right click on the start, go to start settings, and you're going to have this new option, show mobile devices and start. Calls, texts, and other notifications are shown in the start menu. You can either open Phone Link for additional settings or turn this on. And then whenever your phone is successfully connected to your Windows computer through Phone Link, if you open the start menu, you're going to get this new sidebar, which will include your phone's name, battery level, quick links to messages, calls, photos, and also recent photos that you've took, with of course on every section quick links to the Phone Link app. I think this is looking pretty good, but as I've said, you can always go to start settings and then disable this if you don't want this huge start menu inside Windows 11 24H2. Microsoft is also adding improvements to Energy Saver, which include battery life improvements for laptops, of course, a new icon in the system tray whenever you have this turned on, and of course with a quick settings integration, which you can easily turn on or off by clicking on the quick settings button. And also you're going to get additional power and battery options. For example, related to power modes, you're going to be getting additional settings that will allow you to change the power mode depending on whether your device is plugged in or on battery. We also have some Task Manager improvements. If we open the Task Manager, of course, in addition to the reliability options, we have a new settings section that now matches the Windows 11 design principles, and also the new Mica effect integration. Microsoft is also bringing Sudo, the Linux command on Windows 11. As you can see, whenever I'm using PowerShell, I can also use Sudo, but on this machine, Sudo is disabled. To enable it, I'm going to have to go into the Settings app, then System, and then for Developers, and here I'm going to have the option Enable Sudo. You can turn this on. On User Account Control, I can click on Yes, and you have an additional option, Configure how Sudo runs applications in a new window with input disabled or inline, and you can select whichever you want. Now, if I'm going to type Sudo again here, I'm going to see that Sudo is working on Windows 11. Microsoft Teams also received a few updates. Right now, Microsoft Teams is a unified app for both school, work, and personal accounts. You can easily switch between accounts in the app, and you have different notifications for different accounts. Also in Windows 11 24H2, apps like Cortana, Mail, Calendar, Maps, People, WordPad, Movies, and TV, also other apps and services, will be removed because they are deprecated, and these can be changed with similar apps that Microsoft right now provides inside Windows 11 24H2. In Windows 11 24H2, BitLocker or device encryption will be automatically enabled by default on clean installs, so this is something that you should keep in mind. This can be disabled using different methods, and if you want to learn more about this, you can check a different video that I've done in which I talked about BitLocker in Windows 11 24H2 and also 4 different methods of disabling it if you don't want it enabled on your computer. Windows 11 24H2 also has a new installation process. First of all, starting with the legacy OS media setup, and also a revamped second half of OBE for Microsoft account users. So as you can see, we have a different design with certain settings that have been a bit changed, but in this section I'm going to quickly go through the installation process, the legacy and the OBE one, and I'm not going to explain a lot of things because I want to go through this like I'm doing a normal installation. So you can select the language, click on next, the keyboard or input method, and here you have two options, to agree and also install Windows 11, or if you want to repair, I'm going to select I don't have a product key, accept the terms. As you can see, the disk management section is a bit changed as well, but I'm going to select my disk, click on next, ready to install Windows 11 Pro, and and also keep nothing. Click on install and the installation process will start, and then after the restart we will be getting into the new OOB section of Windows 11 24H2. Now moving into the OOB section, we're going to select the country and region, the right keyboard layout, skip the device name and then click on next. Then I'm going to select setup for personal use. Next, then sign in. We're going to have to sign in with a Microsoft account, of course. Then we're going to have to create the PIN, then click on OK. Here, I'm just going to uncheck inking and typing and then tailored experiences. Accept. Then we're going to have the option to restore from your PC backup, but I'm just going to go and click on more options and then set up as a new PC. As you can see, it is getting the things ready for us with this loading screen. Now we can customize the experience, and based on what we select here, we can have different experiences after the installation, but I'm just going to click on skip. We have use your phone from your PC. Of course, this can be easily set up after this. We can click on skip. Also, what you can notice is this new background here. Whenever we are in this new section, keep your phone's photo safe with OneDrive. I'm just going to click on skip. I'm just going to select not now. I don't want to import from my other browsers. Decline Microsoft 365 and also decline. Skip for now. Right now it is finishing up, and this is the whole installation process. In addition to that, of course, you can encounter maybe a new page in which you're going to be able to disable or enable Windows Recall, but that is postponed and it has no clear release date because, of course, Windows Recall itself was delayed. Also, after the installation is finished, you can notice that right now in Windows 11 24H2, Microsoft is enabling Windows Spotlight by default, which is basically the feature that brings you new wallpapers each day, and you can leave a feedback and change them if you don't like them. And of course, you can always set your own custom wallpaper if you want. And at last, we're going to talk about a few under the hood improvements for Windows 11 24H2. First of all, improved performance for ARM devices thanks to a bunch of platform work and a new emulation layer for ARM, which makes apps run up to 10% faster. Also improved performance for devices with Ryzen 9000, 7000, also 5000 series CPUs, Rust in the Windows kernel, checkpoint cumulative updates, and hot patching, which basically means that some devices will begin to see security updates that don't require a reboot, and you're going to be able to see more info about these in the article below. So basically, this is pretty much all there is to it in Windows 11 24H2. We've talked about new AA features that have been delayed, maybe will be released at the end of this year or at the beginning of next year, and also features that should be a part of the initial release in September. Now, talking about the release, of course, Microsoft usually releases the major annual version for Windows 11 somewhere at the end of September and should be rolled out for all users at the beginning of October, with extended rollout until the end of the year. Also, at the end of this video, I want to give a huge shout out to Phantom Mission 3, who has helped me a lot this year, gathering info, providing IDs for certain hidden features and more related to Windows 11 24H2 and other versions. So make sure to check out his Twitter because he does a great job. And also thanks to other people that have contributed with information related to all these features all year long. So this was the video in which I tried to cover all the info. If you enjoyed this video and if you found this video useful, please don't forget to leave a like below and also subscribe to the TechBased channel with the notification bell activated so that you won't miss any future authors like this one. I was your man from TechBased. Until next time, I wish you all a nice day.